This is DG Vision Network.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being part of the show this week. And I believe your week has been a good one. On the show today, we have a very important guest, a very special guest joining us, Mr. Dayo Adefila. Mr. Dayo Adefila, thank you for being part of the show today.
Thank you very much, Moji. It's a pleasure being here today.
You've been in the tech industry for quite a long time, I must say, and you've seen the changes that have come, you've seen the developments that have come over the years, you've seen how technology is actually evolving and how the Nigerian technology space is evolving with it. Emerging technologies of Nigerian business and banking, your thoughts?
Okay, that's so banking. Banking is kind of I won't say standalone, because banking is a very interesting, unique aspect of it. So what emerging technology really, what tends to come to mind, quickly thinking about banking will be things like use of artificial intelligence, right? From a data point of view, using it to really create a better understanding of what your users are doing and how do you use that to then improve your service to them, not to milk them more, or to improve the service to them. So when we say financial inclusion, there's still so much to be done in that aspect. And then financial inclusion also, we often forget insurance when we're talking about financial inclusion. We always focus more on access to loans, access to bank accounts. How about insurance, right? That is something that is actually meant to help people even better, especially in our environment, right? But not much is talked about there. Other aspects of emerging technologies and their impact, will be on business. So still a lot will be, data, AI, machine learning, right? If you look at supply chains of conglomerates, right? The global supply chain now, is kind of, upside down. People are still trying to fulfill certain orders from early last year just because of, how the pandemic affected. So there's a lot of opportunities in how some of those technologies are used, right? But I'd like to talk about some other industries like health, for instance, right? There are things happening now where, where people are using, drones, for instance, drone technology to deliver blood transfusions, from this, from the cities to, rural areas, and solving problems that ordinarily people would just die for lack of that kind of stuff. People are using it to carry oxygen tanks to places. Look, I had a cousin, last year, who was in a hospital, and he was in a coma, so he was on oxygen, right? And sometime, towards midnight, the oxygen ran out, and there was no more oxygen in the whole hospital. So he didn't make it. Wow. He didn't make it. Something as simple as that. He didn't make it. That's guy's future gone like that. So what if it was possible to call somebody, because in places that are not hyper city environments, right? It's not easy to move like that. But what if you could call somewhere and they could arrange to deliver something by drone, right? Even if it's a smaller canister, at least it will carry him till morning, So, and then of course, drone application also goes beyond health. Think about agriculture. There's some guys in I think Sudan, some inventors in Sudan who are using drone technology to basically look at the impact of crop disease, and then they're also looking at areas where they can plant tree, crop seeds, right? Tree seeds for trees, right? So they also help to fight, desertification in that environment. So there is a lot of room. And then, of course, should we not talk about solar technology? There are some innovations in solar technology that are working to reduce significantly the cost as we know it today. They're trying to introduce, certain ways of trapping that light in a way that is more efficient. And once it's more efficient, usually it drops the price. We should be able to easily have solar in the average barbing salon, hair salon, mobile solar units should exist, that are easy to use. I know some companies, have some of this, I think, Lumos, a few people have, but it should be more widespread, because the price has to come. Nigeria has scale, hundreds of millions of people, right?
Indeed, we do. So what about your thoughts on emerging technologies and politics?
Yeah, so first of all, think about it from communication. So from a data point of view, again, you're back to AI, machine
governance, yeah.
Yes, and then of course, how do these politicians, if I get you right, please correct me, for instance, how do you interact with, with the people that, put you into office, right? And those days, what people tend to do is send SMS blast, maybe once they get your phone number, or they just send a blast, across. But now you can use, like you rightly mentioned, chatbots, so you have WhatsApp for business. Can you reach out to people and then invite them into your world and then begin to have a dialogue, right? So if you are a legislator somewhere, senator here, get your constituency. You should be able to mobilize your constituency, and actually reach out to people there. Pass out flyers that say this is what your business account, WhatsApp is, and let people come in. Let there be stuff that, answers to certain basic questions, that people in your constituency want to know, and then give them room to be able to, interact with you through the chatbots. If the questions are a little too complex, let there be some agents. These kind of things enhance and facilitate dialogue, democracy, as small as it sounds, because sometimes people feel really excluded from the process, except when it's time for elections, right? I mean, that's as simple, as transformative as that emerging technology can be.
This is DigiVision Network.